Yes, I did.
Got two things that just popped up on Fox and Friends. One positive, one negative. Negative. GQ just named Colin Kaepernick Citizen of the fucking Year. Why in the fuck would they do that? It's beyond me. Second thing that popped up was, and this is the positive thing, is that YouTube is actually going in and taking anything that's related to Islamic terrorism out of all news feeds. Basically, anything
Nice.
that ISIS or any of those motherfuckers have posted for some kind of boosting or anything for marketing, whatever the fuck they want to call it. All that shit's been booted off the fucking YouTube channels.
This is why fucking GQ does this shit, and everybody fucking else. It's shit that people's gonna look at. Even if you fucking hate it so bad, some of these motherfuckers are gonna look at it just for the fucking hell of it because they want to see what they had to write about him. What was so fucking great, and then they're gonna get even more pissed off about it. It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell. But you got people like us that knows better. I'm fucking not gonna pick that shit up. Fuck you. I don't even read fucking Sports Illustrated. I mean,
hey, well, I mean, honestly though, let's dive in. Let's jump in right here, okay? Let's jump into the deeper discussion about that, about Kaepernick, all right? Because there is one, and now, do I agree with the platform that he used and the method that he used? Absolutely not. Not at all. I don't think that's right. You're a public figure. And you don't take a knee for the national anthem. You don't do that. You could have found a different way to do it. And if you wanted to you wanted to say something as an NFL player, you could have said it while not in uniform and not in the locker room and not at a press conference. You could have used your own time to say that stuff. But, I mean, what he originally stood up for, I think that, and don't get me wrong, I support our law enforcement 100%. But I think what he originally was saying before it got twisted in the media and I think got a little bit out of his control. I think what he was saying was someone needs to say something about, some of the stuff that's happening in this country. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is your freedom of speech. Yep. And as military members, we may not agree with what you say, but we will always defend your right to fucking say it.
That's right.
That man had a right to say how he felt, Yep. And that's something I think a lot of us get away from. I think that we all get away from that a little bit. Now, he did have a right to say what he said. Like I said, I do not agree with his delivery method, and I don't agree with the platform that he used. But he had a right to stand up for that.
Right, and I completely agree with you, because I've said the same thing about Antifa. You got every right to say what the fuck you want to say, but what you don't have the right to fucking do is come over here and hurt people and destroy shit. And that's even for fucking religions and shit. Okay, yeah, you got the freedom to do all this stuff, but you still need to abide by our rules of the land. And yes, and that not really has to do with Kaepernick, but yes, I don't agree with the platform or whatnot either. He used that to his advantage because he knew there was going to be a shit ton of motherfuckers watching. He knew it.
Well, and he also knew that he had his booking agent or his publicist or someone in his ear saying, even if this does screw over your career, you're going to get an amazing book deal. Look what happened to Hillary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So he knew that. He knew that.
Exactly.
I mean, like I said, I don't agree with everything about all that. But, I mean, as far as his original protest, his original reason for it, then, because that is a big deal for a lot of people in this country, and a lot of people feel some type of way about that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You should be able to express yourself. No, you should do it the right way. You should do it the right way.
Yeah.
And you don't use that public figure status, that NFL status, because, God, how many kids look up to these players?
Mm-hmm.
I know I did growing up. I always looked up to NFL players. It's just one of those things. He didn't go about it the right way, but I'm not going to diss him for standing up for what he believed in. That right there. He does work with inner city kids and everything else. So I could see how he may have felt passionate about what he was doing and thought it was right at the time, and it just kind of got away from him, which it can do to a lot of people in those positions.
Well, the public had a lot.
So I can see that. Yeah, I can see that. But his PR people should have reeled him in and been like, "Hey, bro, like, sitting the right way to go about this."
Yeah, and that's something that I'm gonna start doing around here that started last Friday. because of Veterans Day weekend. You know, I went and spoke at elementary school. Now we had about 300 people in there, and it was. I was worried about them not saying the Pledge of Allegiance and shit like that because you know you don't hear about that in schools anymore. And they did the whole 9 yards. I was freaking. I had like chill bumps before I even said what I had to say.
Yeah.
And then I got to go into a few of the classrooms and whatnot, man. I mean, there's a couple little videos up, man, like the whole classroom screaming "ho" and shit like that, man, thumping my ass up. And principal came up and she's like, Spartanburg County, I don't have to go through the actual school district. All I got to do is call the schools and talk to the principals. I was like, oh, really? Okay, cool. Own it. We'll definitely be doing that. Because, you know, like you say, he used that platform to reach out to people and shit. And
yeah.
One thing that I always say, we're all broken in some kind of way, mentally or physically, but you let that shine because that's who you are. That's the way that you were made.
Exactly.
Period. So me being as big as I am with a fucking prosthetic leg and all this other bullshit, I mean, I use that to express positive stuff through other people. And if, you know, a lot of these kids, man, they was coming up and they was like, they wasn't asking questions on how I lost it, but they was like, man, that's cool. And they wanted to touch the shit and everything like that. And I showed it, you know, it was just for them to see whatnot and them learning about the military and the veterans and what we do, you know, I think that's great. The kids need to be taught, you know, and there's a good, positive, simple way just to walk in there. You don't have to tell nothing about war stories or anything like that. I mean, there's stories we can take out of history, you know, from George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and, you know, Thomas Jefferson and shit like that they learn about at that age and just express that, you know, we're still following down that line. We're still a part of that history and stuff like that. I can't wait, man. Them kids pump my ass up.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, that's a positive example of using your platform the right way. You know what I mean? And that is a positive example.
And that's, you know, that's what we try to do, you know. That's you know, we gotta retrain and reteach the country to think positive about life. Because everybody's
exactly.
Like, a lot of people go around nowadays and they're just like, man, today fucking sucks. This is bullshit. I'm just gonna fucking sit here. Why? Yeah, it sucks. Like I said this morning, it takes life to make life happen. What I mean by that is it takes. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say we've talked about this. You know what it's gonna take is us starting the speaking tour about embracing the art of fucking. That's what it's gonna take because that's something we all learn in the military. Yeah. Is that art to say fuck it? And people are like, man, how are you happy in this situation? Man, I've been through worse. It ain't that bad. Fuck.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But that's what it's going to take, though. That's what it's going to take because everyone thinks, oh, woe's me. Everything's so bad. My life sucks.
You know learn that whole fuck it aspect as soon as you walk in the fucking door.
You do. From the time you're in basic or boot or whatever the hell else you go through, you do. You learn how to say fuck it, man. There ain't nothing I can do about it. Fuck it. Suck it up, embrace the suck, drive on.
Sitting there in them brown tighty whities, butt to butt, waiting on your fucking shots. Oh, God.
Oh, them shots suck ass.
I'm telling you, man.
But no, I mean, but that's what it is, though. It's the art of fuck it, and that's something that we've lost as Americans because, you know, I mean, for a long time, I mean, if you look at the Great Depression and everything else, and World War I and II, you know, when the wars kicked off and people were actually going back to work, putting industrial jobs and everything else, you had to have that fuck it mentality.
Yep.
Yeah, this job sucks, but fuck it, I'm getting paid. You know, I mean, it's something we've kind of got to get back to. There's so many blue collar jobs out there that people don't want to take, and there's so much money in those jobs. You know, that people just don't want to go to anymore. They're like, oh, I'm going to go to college for 12 years or freaking 8 years and figure out what the hell I'm going to do and get out of college, and they can't get a job. And they're like, why? You know, but you could come right out of high school and go into a trade job and come out, you know, getting $20 to $40 an hour.
That's exactly what fuck happened to me. Yep. My first wife taught me out of going in the military, which was one of the biggest mistakes I made. But I didn't know she was going to cheat on me fucking 9 years down the road. But, you know, it's I did exactly that. I came out of high school and I went into the family business. A lot of people was looking at me, you're a plumber? I'm like, yeah. That's got to suck. And I'm like, not at $20 an hour, it don't. At 18 years old. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm banking right now. I'm going in here fucking
Man.
putting in, and it's not, I wasn't doing the crappy part of the job. I was doing new construction. Yeah, I was learning shit.
Well, yeah.
And it was.
Well, and even plumbers nowadays, even here, they start out at $23 an hour as a journeyman plumber.
Yeah. And it's but then again, here, like you just said, some of these people, and it's fucked up because, yes, we want all our kids and whatnot to go to college, and that's why, all the stuff that I'm doing right now, I try to take my son with me everywhere I go. He's 17 years old. He's doing really good in school right now. His college is paid for, because of my disabilities and whatnot. And me and Anthony have a little thing going on that not a lot of people know about, but some people do to kind of help us along the way. But he goes with me everywhere we do events and concerts and all this other shit. And he's learning. Because that's one thing that I learned from learning in the past, people coming out of college to try to be plumbers that didn't know how to put in a piece of pipe to save their fucking life. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, you went to school for this shit? Move, get the fuck out of the way. But then again, being in the military, doing all the safety shit, hazmat shit, and everything else that you did, all you needed to do was go to school then and just get the fucking paper, and you were golden. Like, wait, where's your experience? Fucking 10 years in the military. Here's my experience doing this job here, and here's my fucking degree.
That works. I got to say, that works to an extent for that aspect, but if you're looking at other career fields, like for me, being a fucking grunt, I'm sitting there thinking, okay, I get out, I can go back home, be a jailer, and I'll be fine with that. I can live with that for the rest of my life. I wouldn't have a problem with it. I come home and apply for a jailer's position after being a grunt for 3 fucking years with a combat tour, and I was told no. Like, seriously? Okay, well, let me try juvenile corrections, because that seems to be an alternative. Let me try that. 5 years. It's going to be 5 fucking years to become a juvenile correctional officer. And thank God, the only reason why I even got considered for the position, thank God, was only because I was a vet. Aside from that, I couldn't get on at the police department. I couldn't get on doing the county jail. I couldn't get on private security firm. Nothing. Nobody would hire me.
No, I feel you.
Like, I did in a hospital for security, and that was a joke to me. I'm like, your security guards monitor monitors. So they don't have guns, they don't have tasers, they don't have pepper spray, but they got the uniform of a security officer. I can do this. It's not fucking hard. It's not rocket science. And yet, I was told no, because I didn't have OPATA certification, which is the Ohio Police Officers Training Academy stuff. But still, that's just my little rant on that.
All right, we're halfway through, guys. I gotta throw the commercials up, and then we go into a song, and then we shall be right back.
Run by Special Ops veterans, putting people in war zones to work and working where others fear to tread. Each one of our products is manufactured in current or post-conflict areas. Your purchases fund women's education, demining efforts, and healing our veterans. High-quality products that make meaningful change for those less fortunate. What America will be for the world moving forward.
This is Sam from Madison Rising, and you're listening to Dangerous Grounds Network.
Branded Warriors Inc., the original tattoo therapy program in America. Big Country and his band of warriors will take care of all America's heroes, with one drop of ink at a time. Go to bwitattoos.org to fill out your application and send it to bwitattoos@yahoo.com. Then the power of the ink and BWI will heal your mind.
Black Rose Tattoo Shop. Veteran Rand and Branded Warriors preferred tattoo shop. BlackRoseTattoo.com. All your tattoo needs.
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're listening to Dangerous Grounds Network. Hey, you want a freedom boner or what? Listen now.
What's up? This is AJ from Madison Rising, and you're listening to Dangerous Grounds Network. And we're going to put a little bit of freedom all up in you.
Hey, yo. Hey, brother. What's up? I really need your help. I got you, bro. I mean, like right now, I'm on the edge. On the way. You a
my battle in distress. You will never walk alone. I'll carry you through the flames of hell. My flesh burned through the bone, through the places where the demons dwell. You're my battle now, I know